As I started to say, let me give you an idea. David's going to present the ordinance to the commissioners today as passed by the Planning Commission. I feel confident the commissioners are going to take no action on the ordinance today. So if there's anybody here, I haven't even read it, so there's no way we're going to take any affirmative or negative action on the ordinance. So I just want everybody to know that right up front. Okay, David.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Hopefully you have received a packet, information that we have submitted to the county commissioners, certifying the Planning Commission's favorable recommendation on a proposed wind energy conversion systems ordinance to be an amendment to the current zoning ordinance. So the Planning Commission has taken their time reviewing this ordinance, getting input, deliberation, discussion, all kinds of suggestions and recommendations have been submitted to the commission. They have duly considered it. As you're aware, we, with your assistance, had a consultant do a wind analysis, wind study for us, trying to discover all the issues that are involved in this process. Proposed ordinance has been prepared, was submitted to the public for their review and input. Public hearing was held. All the legal requirements of the statute have, I believe, taken place. At the end of the public hearing, the Planning Commission took it back under advisement, made some additional changes to the ordinance. Some amendments were made at their last meeting, and at the conclusion of that meeting, a motion was made to send a favorable recommendation along with that proposed ordinance to the commissioners, and that has been accomplished.
This is the ordinance you want us to deal with. Okay.
That is the Planning Commission's recommendation, yes. 6-1, with one member not present and another member with conflict. So.
Okay, gentlemen, it's your pleasure. Well, let me ask you, is it true that we have 90 days to make a decision?
Yes, the state statute says that once the amendment has been certified by the Planning Commission, delivered to you, the statute says you have 90 days in which to take action.
Okay, so which is it? Is it once the planning, I'm just asking, when does the 90 days start?
It would be my understanding as to when you received it. When you received the ordinance.
Okay.
I delivered it
April 10th is when you brought it.
Thursday. Wednesday.
April
Thursday.
10th is
Yeah.
the date,
Yeah.
so, okay. Okay.
So from that date,
I think it was delivered on the 11th. So at this point in time, I guess I would say it started on the 11th. The letter was dated on the 10th, but you didn't get it until the next morning. So,
Gentlemen, have any questions for Dave?
Now, if I see something in here, I'm not speaking for Don and George. If I see something in here that I don't agree with, if I cast a vote, yea or nay, for any particular item, I guess that throws the whole ordinance out? Or is it coming to us just to rubber stamp, I guess is what I'm talking about? If that's it, I don't want that approach. I want an approach where if we have input, does this ordinance come back to the plan commission? Or do we vote on that change and it gets defeated 2-1 or passes 3-0 or what? How is that done? I have, and I mentioned to George the other day, in this decommissioning, now I read here, am I provided legally to read this in public?
Yeah, public document.
Okay. Decommissioning, a decommission plan approved by the Board of Commissioners, approving for the method and payment of the anticipated cost. Now, there's some costs that I want to know if the wind company, if the plan commission has put that in there, or do we put it in? For example, if the wind company comes in, they have to pay for the redoing of the roads. Am I correct?
Yes.
If for one reason or another, these have to be taken down and hauled out, is that money gonna be an escrow? Because certainly, if the roads are damaged coming in, they'll be damaged going out. Is that written in here, or do we have to put that amount in? I know how hard you worked on this and appreciate the plan commission, everybody. But I wanna be sure, if I vote yea or nay, and I'll tell everybody up front right now, I don't know, because I haven't read this. But I'm just on page 3 and I see, is that in there? You know, are we protected with that?
Well, I believe that you are, but not every detail is going to be specified in this ordinance. Not every instance that you could possibly imagine. You know, a lot of things are subject to the approval of the Board of Commissioners. Now, what is that? That's a negotiation then. And at such time as we would ever get a project that somebody would submit, that would go through the process, part of that process, and there's, I don't know, 10, 15 steps that they've got to go through and meet with different people, transportation group, drainage group, Board of Commissioners, decommissioning, on and on, all the safety issues. And so each one of those negotiations is a sit down, across the table, private meeting that let's hammer this detail out. What if the roads break when you take these turbines home? Are you going to pay for them? And if they don't, then you don't make the agreement, and and the project goes no farther. So that's a step before it would ever get approved. You know, there's 3 different levels of approval here. Primary approval, secondary approval, you know, and so what I'm saying is you have to be satisfied before it will ever go any farther.
And all we're doing, so I get to step, is approving this ordinance.
This is just an
If
ordinance.
a wind company comes in, applies, then that will go through the plan commission, through the regular routine.
Right.
Plan commission hearing, and eventually would come to us.
Correct, and that would just be on the main level. If there was to be a farm, they have to do, if this ordinance is approved, it's set up as an overlay district. So it's a rezoning. So that's just the first step. You like it or you don't. The next step is then they start submitting all of their detailed plans and arrangements, and and goes through all kinds of committees and groups and approvals. That's
Neighbors would be notified.
they would be notified at the rezoning hearing, sure, yeah. So it's a step-by-step process. So I can't tell you that exactly, there is a statement in here that says, and the roads will be, but certainly it'll be a part of that plan.
Okay.
To answer your first question, if you vote no or want to make an amendment or change this, that probably doesn't mean anything unless you get another vote to change it. So it's, right now, the whole ordinance is in front of the group, the commission. You've got three options, the way I look at it is, do nothing and it stands approved. After 91 days, it's automatic. You approve it, take action on it, and approve it as is, formal action, or you amend it or deny it. If you do that, if you take that last step, it has to be in writing as to what you are amending or what you are rejecting, and it goes back to the Planning Commission for their reconsideration. They've got 45 days, then it comes back to you, yay or nay, up or down, then you can do what you want to with it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no further questions. Happy reading to me, I guess.
Yeah.
George, you probably have no questions.
Right now,
And that was my question about, I wanted to make real sure what our job was to do here, so, okay. All right. There is no ordinance yet, so you can't give it a number. All right, gentlemen?
Or we're just not gonna,
I think what I'm looking for, to be honest with you, is a motion to table this so that we can study. I haven't read it, so I need to read it, and I'm just looking for a motion to,
well, I was so moved, yeah, right, I would not make a motion or second to approve or disapprove this without having read through the whole thing, so I'd make a motion to be tabled. You want a date, I guess we have a curfew, so to speak, but if we get it read and ready, well, I guess but I think we need legal publication and stuff, so people, I think there was a little misunderstanding today. I think some people thought that we were gonna vote yay or nay on this today, but it is just for discussion. I make a motion to table.
and I would also ask that our legal counsel go over this.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'll second motion.
We have a motion and a second to table the proposed ordinance, discussion, and under discussion. It honestly is gonna be necessary for us to discuss this ordinance, so I will be checking with legal to find out how we can do that. I mean, we would never, I'd like to think you know this, we'd never make a decision behind closed doors, but we really need to discuss this, so I'll be checking with legal to find out if that's at all possible. All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor to table the proposed ordinance. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Thank you, David.
Yes, I did send a copy to Mr. Stiegler,
You got it.
Cool.
so he does have a copy of it.
Good enough, thank you.